This is my practice kit. It's a 1980s Teimu Superstar kit. I don't use it on stage a whole lot. But I use my old broken cymbals for practicing. As you can see, they're very broken.
Bruh.
This one over here. So these come from Teimu. I had my wife order them. We don't usually go shopping on Teimu at all, so thought we'd take a chance and see what's gonna happen. But first we'll talk about this kit a little bit more. It's an 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 22, 24 inch bass drum. I have an extra 10 inch, 13, and a 14 inch tom that were the extras, Teimu extras. These are homemade octabands. These are made out of pipe. I will make a video on these, like I said before, someday, just not today. But I will tell you all about them and how to make them. And I thought I would start with the 8 inch tom here, 10 and 12. I had everything moved one that way, but I find it a lot more comfortable this way. And then the 14 and the 18, the heads are well used, of course. This is my practice kit. But I bought a couple single pedals, and these are super, super nice. Really cheap, and they feel great. Very happy with them. Of course, the old 30-year-old, more than 30-year-old, no, I'd say about 30-year-old Teimu Iron Cobra hi-hat, double two-legged hi-hat. Still works great. A couple of junky cymbals put together just for a little clapper type sound. Same as this puppy here. I do have a total of 8 of these octabands. I just don't have them all set up. They sound pretty cool. Then the 6 inch rototom, 8 inch, 10, 12, 14, 18. No microphones on them. This is just the cell phone. There's 2 more of them. This is the long one, I think. All right, back to these puppies. Been battling a cold for the last week, so that's why I sound like this. Ooh, it comes in a bag. Awesome. I got the silver, just for fun. That's the ride. This is a crash. Ooh! Sounds like a nice cymbal, actually. What else we got? Oh, another crash. That would be the 16 inch. Nice. And there should be a pair of hi-hats. Very cool. So now I gotta find me another crash. See if they have any China cymbals. and a couple of splashes if it's possible. Not sure if they make them or not. My nose. So just for fun, I'm going to grab my good cymbals that I use on gigs, set them up, we'll try those. Then I'll try the broken cymbals that I use at home for practicing, and then we'll finish off with the new low volume cymbals. So another thing really? And another thing oh, come on. And another thing I'm going to do is put the camera outside of my room so you'll be able to tell a little bit better. It was hard. So while I'm waiting for my furnace to shut off, I'll show you what I'm using for cymbals for my kit. These are the 14-inch Sabian rock hats, I believe. This is a Sabian AA Explosion Crash 16. This is a Peisty 10-inch Splash. It used to be the Color Sound series and it was black. And I took all the paint off. This is from the 80s, probably about 80s, 85, 86, something like that. This is another Sabian AAX Explosion Crash 18-inch. This is an old Sabian 22-inch rock ride, I believe. And another Explosion Crash 18-inch. And finally we have the 20-inch Istanbul China cymbal. And since the making of this video, when I first started making it, I had regular heads on here, and I have now switched to mesh heads, well, on most of the drums, and I will talk about them more in a little bit. So when I do this little experiment, it will just be cymbals only. I'll record it in the room, and then I'll take the camera out of the room, record it from there, and then do the rest with the other two sets of cymbals. And then there's video of a little bit of playing with the cymbals when I had the regular heads on. So these are the broken cymbals. I'm just going to worry about the crashes. I'm not going to worry about the ride or the china or the hi-hats. So there's my room, which is about 12 feet away approximately, and I'm going to put the camera just at the top of the basement stairs. Well, I like those cymbals so much I bought a second set. So now we've got the 16-inch crash and the hi-hats, of course. The hi-hats I'm using one as a splash, and I'm using one over there as a stack. I'll show you in a second. This is the 18-inch. No, it's this is the 18. And this is the ride cymbal, which is a 20. There's another 20 for the ride. And there's the extra cymbals. I had 3 extra cymbals, so I thought I'd stack them up. And these are both the same cymbals, both ride cymbals, but I'm going to use one as a crash because it sounds pretty good as a crash. And then the ride. Here's the 18-inch, 14-inch hi-hat, and the 16. Also found these on Teimu. They were little jam blocks. Cheap crap, but they're okay. I also had another thought. I'm doing a gig this Friday, which is tomorrow actually. That's the gig that requires us to play a lower volume. So I'm wondering if I should use these cymbals with my Rototom kit. Try it out. It's a small bar. I'll give it a shot and I'll record it. If they don't work, then I'll know. But it's a smaller bar, so I'm using the Rototoms. That should bring the volume of the band down a lot. So did they work? Yeah, I think they did. I think they sounded pretty good. I had some other musicians come to the bar. A couple drummers actually come out, check things out. And they seemed to like them too. The band seemed to like them. No complaints from the crowd. So I think for some of these smaller bars, I'm going to keep doing that. And now for home, I could do that. Plus I added some mesh heads to the kit. Instead of so these are the R-Tom mesh heads. Came with a 10, 12, 14, and a 16 that I don't have for this kit, and the 22-inch kick, because this is a 14-inch tom and an 18-inch tom. And I still have to find this 6-inch if there's any available, and maybe a 24. So what I did is I hooked up my double pedal so I could go instead of all the noise on the big 24. And the 8-inch tom is a muffle head by Pearl. I seem to like the R-Tom heads better because they have that nice little dot in the center. But for now, I seem to enjoy it. Way seems to enjoy it a lot better. So I'll keep doing it. See if I can find a 6-inch and maybe 24 and an 18. But I do have to order another 14. So that's it for today. Hope to see you again soon, and I will sign out as my phone is slowly sliding off my hi-hat. Oh, did it stop? It stopped. Nope, it's going. Bye. See ya.